Lakers forever, yo. So the NBA Cup starts today. We have the Raptors, the Knicks, the who else made it? I don't know, but it's the Eastern Conference NBA Cup starts today. Tomorrow is the Western Conference. But today's video is about Mexican ballers. So there's been, even though basketball, isn't the biggest sport in Mexico, it still has had some great basketball players that have made it to the NBA despite the nation of Mexico not really being a basketball nation like Spain or Argentina, right? Or like the U.S. Still, there's been players that have made it. So I wanted to shout out those players and talk about them a little bit or at least mention them. So let's go. And there's actually a current Mexican American or Mexican descent players, but there's also the first ever Mexican born player to make it to the NBA, and we'll talk about those guys in a bit. So here we go. Let's start off with, I have my list here at center. So we'll go position by position, and then some honorable mentions. Now these are just position by position. It's not like who is the greatest or whatever. Like they've all obviously, some made it to the NBA, some didn't, but they all contributed to Mexican basketball. So let's go ahead and begin with our center. Now our center is gonna be. There's two centers, Gustavo Ayón and Horacio Llamas. Now Horacio Llamas was 7 feet, 305 pounds, 1996, and he was undrafted. He went undrafted in the draft, but then the Suns took him. They invited him to training camp, etc., etc. They signed him 10-day contract, whatever. So he played games with the Phoenix Suns. He played against Michael, literally on the court against Michael when he was with the Magic, I believe. And so Horacio Lamas is the first Mexican-born player to play in the NBA. He was born in El Rosario, Sinaloa, Mexico, and yeah, he played for Phoenix 1997, 1998. Let's see. Yep, he was a FIBA Americas League champion in 2012. So shout out Horacio Llamas, the first Mexican born to make it to the NBA, and he was from Sinaloa, Mexico. Another guy is Gustavo Ayón. He was a center, and he played for the Hornets in 2011, 2012. In 2013, he played for the Magic Bucks. So Gustavo Ayón was another center, and let's see how. I think he was like 6'10", if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, he was born in Tepic, Mexico. And he was a 6'10", 250 pound. Oh no, wait, born in Zapopan, Nayarit, Mexico. But he has Mexican and Spanish nationality, because I think he went overseas and he had to get his Spanish. But he was born in Nayarit, and he was a 6'10". Now he did go undrafted in 2007. He entered the draft, and he went undrafted, but eventually he was able to sign with his first team, which was the Hornets in 2012, and then the Magic in 2013, Milwaukee also 2013, and he ended in his NBA career in 2014 with the Atlanta Hawks, and then he traveled to Europe to play with Real Madrid. But hey, shout out to Gustavo Ayón. He was a FIBA International Cup champion in 2015 and two-time EuroLeague champion 2015-2018. So, great accomplishments. Another Mexican that makes it to the NBA and actually plays games in the NBA. Now, some of these guys never made it to the NBA, but I'm still going to give them a shout out because they contributed to Mexican, playing for the Mexican national team or just going viral, you know what I mean? But that's our two centers right there. Let's go with a power forward, Eduardo Nájera. Yeah, I mean, Eduardo Nájera is probably the most well known, because he was in the league for a minute. I mean, he was in the league for a minute, and he actually was he undrafted as well. Some of these guys actually get drafted, and we're gonna get to the one that actually gets drafted the highest, and is currently still in the NBA right now. He's a young guy, but Eduardo Nájera, he's actually so Eduardo Nájera is actually a scout still right now. He's a scout for the Dallas Mavericks, so he's still technically in the NBA as a scout. But he was born in Chihuahua, Mexico, 6'8", 235. Um, let's see, 2000. Oh yeah, he did get drafted second round in 2000, second round, 38th pick by the Houston Rockets. So he played for Dallas, Golden, but he never played for Houston. Houston took him, drafted him, but then probably traded him. So that he played for Dallas, Golden State Warriors 1 year in 2005, Denver Nuggets for 3 years. So that was his big stint. Denver Nuggets for 3 years, New Jersey for 2 years, back to Dallas for half a season, maybe Charlotte and for 2 seasons, and that's it. So wow, he had a great NBA career. He had a great NBA career. So good for him. Yeah, he was in the league 2004 to 2012. So 8 year NBA career, great. So yeah, shout out to him. Um, Shout out to Eduardo Nájera from Chihuahua, Mexico. Let's go on with another power forward. Now, this guy, he didn't make the NBA, but I mean, he played for the national team. He graduated from UCLA, or University of Los Angeles, California, 4 years at UCLA, and he was just 6'9", 240, gritty, rebounding, defensive player, and that's how he got his, that's how he made his name. 6'9", 240, Lorenzo Matas. Shout out Lorenzo Matas. He was born in Huntington Park, California, and he's of Mexican descent. Um, so I believe his uh his parents are from both his parents are from Mexico. But he won the gold medal in 2013, and then he won the bronze in 2017 for Mexico, representing Mexico. Let's see here. So yeah, let's see. So yeah, so UCLA 4 years. In 2008, he entered the draft, but he went undrafted, and he was never able to make it to an NBA team. Um, but nonetheless, incredible career, and definitely representing Mexico well on and off the court. So shout out Lorenzo Matos, and proud of him. Great to see him succeed and just play the game he loves, and get his education at a real Ivy League school like UCLA. So shout out to him. Um, Another. Let's go next. Let's go to the next. Um, uh, let's see. Small forward. Everybody knows this guy, Juan Toscano Anderson. He is the only Mexican player to win a championship. He is the only Mexican player to win a championship. Juan Toscano Anderson. He was born in Oakland, California. I think his mom is Mexican. His father is black, but he is. But he also represented Mexico in the in the national team, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't show it on here, but I think he has. I think he has if I look at it here, but I thought he did. National team career. Toscano Anderson was a member of the Mexico national basketball team at the 2016 FIBA World Olympic qualifying tournament in Turin, Italy. So he was representing Mexico. So shout out to him. And he did make. He was a 6'6", 6'6", 209. So April 10th, 1993, he was born in Oakland, California. 6'6", 209. Let's see here. 2015 NBA draft, undrafted. Eventually, probably he got invited to training camps and all that. And finally, he signed with the Golden State Warriors in 2020 and 2022. So in 2022, he won an NBA championship with the Golden State Warriors. And he played 1 year with the Lakers, 2023. He played half a season with the Jazz. And then he went to Mexico Capitanes in 2023 as well. But then he came back for the Kings in 2023, 2024. And that was the last team he played for, 2023, 2024, Sacramento Kings. And he was an NBA champion in 2022, the only Mexican NBA champion to ever win a championship. So shout out to him as well. And now let's go to shooting guard. Now this kid is still in the NBA right now. Jaime Jaques Jr. He plays for the Miami Heat. Jaime Jaquez Jr. And he went to University of UCLA. 6'6". Where is UCLA? 6'6". He was 2023 NBA. He entered the 2023 NBA draft, first round pick, 18th overall. I think that's the highest a Mexican has ever gone. First round, 18th pick, and he's 6'6", 225 pounds. He was born in Irvine, California, and drafted by the Miami Heat, and he's still playing for the Miami Heat. He was an NBA All-Rookie First Team in 2024. So shout out to him, Jaime Jaquez Jr., the highest drafted Mexican player ever, and he's still in the league right now. So we're looking forward to him to be in the league for a few more years. He got great size, great skills, so he should be able to hold a spot in the NBA for the foreseeable future. Now he's too young. I don't think he represented Mexico yet, and let me see, national career. Yeah, he just came into the league like 2 years ago, so he hasn't represented any country yet, but Mexican American parents. I mean Mexican parents, and he played for the UCLA Bruins. So that's Jaime Jaquez Jr. Now next one is point guard Jorge Gutierrez, and I think this guy's undrafted as well. A lot of these guys are undrafted. They just work hard, play hard, man, and. But let's see, Jorge Gutierrez, again, Chihuahua, Mexico. So it looks like basketball is more popular northern Mexico, right? So Chihuahua, Mexico, Jorge right now, and right now he is a assistant coach for the NBA G League team, the Long Island Nets. So he's technically still in the NBA as an assistant coach for the NBA G League, NBA Development League. But he was 6'3". He's 6'3", 195 pounds. And let's see, college, California. He went to California College or California University for 4 years, and he entered the draft in 2012, but he went undrafted. And again, when you go undrafted, teams can still invite you to their training camp or whatever, right? To their G League team or Summer League team, and you can still try to prove that you can get a spot on the team. And he did. In 2014, he signed with the Brooklyn Nets. And then in 2015, he played for the Bucks. In 2016, he played for the Hornets. And let's see, that was his last team. So three seasons in the NBA. In 2016, that was his last team, the Charlotte Hornets. And now he is an assistant coach for the Long Island Nets in the NBA G League team. And that's Jorge Gutierrez. Shout out to him. And there's a picture of him here representing Mexico in international play. So let's see. But I mean, there's a lot of honors he has. All these guys have a lot of honors. If you go on the Wikipedia page, you'll see that they have honors, right? It's not like for example, Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, Pac-12 Player of the Year, Mexican MVP in 2022. Oh, that was recent. That's 3 years ago. All NBA D League second team. So all these guys, they've had accomplishments. You know what I mean? Which is insane. When Mexico's most popular sports are football, boxing, baseball, right? I don't think, maybe now basketball is getting up there, but I mean, basketball has never been really up there. You know what I mean? I think even American football has even surpassed basketball, but who knows? But yeah, so Jorge Gutierrez, shout out to him. Jorge Gutierrez representing Mexico. And he also played, a lot of these guys played in the Mexican League and leagues in other places, but we're just talking about NBA teams that they played for. But yeah, a lot of these guys, they go to Europe or they go play in the Mexican League. But yeah, he represented Mexico. He actually has a gold in 2013 for Mexico. He won gold in FIBA America Cup. He got bronze in 2017 for FIBA America Cup. He got gold in 2014 with Mexico for Centro Basket, and he got silver in 2016 and for Mexico for Centro Basket. So a lot of these guys representing well on and off the court, like I said. Let's go to the next guy. We have one guy left. We already went through Horacio Llamas. We went to Lorenzo Matas, Gustavo Ayón, Eduardo Nájera, Juan Toscano Anderson, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Jorge Gutierrez. And let's go to Romel Beck. Now, Romel Beck, 6'7", 192. I had to add him here because I think he had an incredible offensive game. He had an incredible offensive game. Unfortunately for him, he defensively he was just not there, and also he was really thin. I mean, he was really skinny. Um, and his position was a tough position, especially at that time. You're going against Tracy McGrady. You have to guard Kobe Bryant. You have to go against Dwayne Wade. Like that was a really LeBron James was playing two guard a little bit at that time, so he was a two guard. And his body he has a really skinny body, like kind of like a Reggie Miller, but obviously he wasn't the elite shooter Reggie Miller was. But I think he had a good handle. I mean, like I said, he could get to the rim, handle the ball. But he wasn't like an elite shooter or anything like that. But Romel Beck from he was actually born in Magdalena de Quino, Mexico. Magdalena de Quino, Mexico. Wow, is that like close to Hermosillo? Sonora? He might have. He might have. But high school at Tijuana, California. He went to Tijuana High School in California. He went to UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, for 2 years before entering the draft in 2005. In 2005, he entered the draft and went undrafted. Like I said before, that means that you enter the draft, no team takes you, but then after the draft, teams, if you go undrafted, teams can get you. Like, okay, I will invite you to our team. We will invite you to our summer league team. We'll invite you to our G League team for training camp or whatever, right? So he got invited. I believe I saw him play with Houston in summer league or like training or something, but it doesn't come up here. But I believe he did train with the Houston Rockets, if I'm not mistaken. It's not coming up here though. It doesn't show that he made any NBA team ever. But he was an NBA D-League All-Star, which is not the G League. The NBA G League used to be the NBA D-League. He was an NBA D-League All-Star in 2010. But it looks like he never made it to the NBA. I think Wikipedia is mistaken. I remember seeing him in a Houston Rockets jersey, but maybe I'm mistaken. But looks like, but yeah, he had an offensive game. Like I said, he just never, yeah, he wasn't a great passer or a great shooter or a great defender just because of he was really slim, he was really skinny. And like I said, you're going up against, at that time, look at the two guards you have to go against: Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, probably Ray Allen is somewhere in there. What other two guards you can think about? Jason Richardson, Steven Jackson. So you're really going up against really strong, athletic two guards, and he was just not able to get a spot. But those are the most known, or some of the most modern. I'm sure back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, there's also Mexican players, but these are the modern era, which is really, you're talking about Horacio Llamas in '96 playing in the Jordan era, and actually being on the court when he had to play against the Bulls and they had Jordan, and being on the same court with like a Jordan. That's crazy, You're talking about Jaime Jaquez Jr. currently in today's NBA, to be able to get drafted that high and make it to the NBA in this stage. It's just an incredible accomplishment in itself. But shout out to all these guys. Shout out to the Mexican national team, both the La Selección Mexicana and the Mexican national team, the baloncesto. And yeah, just hopefully the sport keeps growing out there in Mexico. I know it's a lot of competition between very different sports. Obviously, football, it's always probably gonna be the top of the top. El boxeo is always gonna be right there. But hopefully there's a place for baloncesto over there in Mexico, and because we've seen American football going over there. Now NBA does have games over there as well. They'll send their players, their like teams to play over there, but I feel like for whatever reason, football americano is getting more more play out there. Like they just maybe they lean more to a football americano, more of the aggressive, I guess, style. But hopefully, just keep growing the thing. But this is really just for education purposes, really to show how far Mexican basketball has gone, even though it's not close to where it could be. But hopefully that just keeps growing. So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Lakers forever.